Hello and welcome to Binge or Bin, where this week we'll be switching our focus to the big screen and the 2023 Oscars. I'm joined by my culture colleagues Annabel, Nugent and Adam White, where we're going to be discussing who's going to take away the golden statues and, of course, the most shocking snubs and surprises.
Starting from now. But shush like, Polly. You know, shush like.
We've got views on Best Picture. Should we start with Best Picture? Do you want to go, Annabel?
Yeah, I do. I feel like, the obvious kind of dark horse here is All Quiet on the Western Front. That film came out in October on Netflix and kind of to like relatively zero fanfare. And now it's kind of everywhere, cleaning up at the BAFTAs. And what did you like it? What did you think?
What do you think about All Quiet?
Well, I am one of the many people who completely did not see this film. So
there's a lot of that.
Yeah, I was surprised that it has taken off so much. But it's a very traditional Oscar Awards movie. Yeah. So in a sense, we should not be surprised.
Sind jetzt an der Westfront.
I feel like the one to beat, despite it not having a big night at the BAFTAs. If I was a betting man right now, I would put money on Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah, you see, I did really love that. I would prefer to see Michelle Yeoh take home Best Actress rather than see Everything, Everywhere take home Best Picture.
Interesting.
But I did love it, and I think it was quite like risky and daring, and all those things that a Best Picture winner should be.
Personally, I found it unbearable. I'm so sorry. I am a loud member of the minority of people who did not enjoy that film very much. At the same time, I think it would be a fine Best Picture winner. It was made for like $30 or something very small, and it became a giant sensation, so I think it would be a fine Best Picture winner.
I like when you see films like this, because I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I appreciate that it's in there because we didn't really know anything. We didn't know about it this time last year. We didn't know about it at all. Similar to Tar, I guess, if you're a Todd Field fan, you were probably waiting for Tar, but no one else really knew. And yet these films are kind of up there, and I like that as opposed to something more baity, that like Elvis, which you probably all knew. Not to throw Elvis, not to sing about Elvis, but it's nice to see films like that in there. And I do think they're more likely to win these days. Like look at Coda, look at Parasite, which are actually two very different films. One's amazing, one's really bad, but you can't accuse them of being different.
It's true though, because I think that the Oscars do like a nice surprise. And I think that at least some of these films, right from when they were first announced, it was kind of assumed that they would be big Oscar players. Yeah. As great as something like The Fabelmans is, that was always going to be in the conversation. Whereas I think something like Everything Everywhere All at Once was not until like much later in the day. I remember 6 months ago, there were still people thinking, is this film just going to be forgotten about? Yeah. And it's held up, which is nice.
I'd be happy with it. I'd not be the happiest, but I'd be chuffed to see it win.
It would be, I think it would be a win for cult cinema, that's for sure. and the many fans of the film will be insufferable, but also they'll be really
In
happy.
fairness, they are insufferable already. So I feel like it's just going to add to that.
I'm here because we need your help.
Very busy today, no time to help you.
If I was choosing, Women Talking would be my pick, but obviously I've got more chance of winning Best Picture than Women Talking, right?
What about you?
To be honest, I would say my Best Picture would be Tar. I think Tar is kind of a universe in itself. It's beautifully made, it's incredibly fascinating and compelling. It's kind of everything that cinema is good at. It has no chance of winning Best Picture, but I'm going to be supporting.
You say it, but you never know. What about you, if you had to pick?
I think if I had to, Banshees of Inisherin, that was kind of one of my favorite films of last year, and I just really enjoyed it, and I thought Colin Farrell was great, Kerry Condon was great, and I don't know, I think that was just the one I enjoyed the most. But I don't think it's going to win Best Picture.
I think screenplay probably sewn up for Banshees.
Yeah.
Martin McDonagh, they kind of love, I think Martin McDonagh's an easy person to give that award to.
Didn't you and he used to be the best of friends?
We're still the best of friends.
No, you're not.
Who says we're not? Sit somewhere else.
Let's move on to Best Director now. Adam, do you have any faves or anyone that you think has a big shot?
In terms of Best Director, weirdly, the least famous people in this category I think are most likely to win. This is the Daniels, who are the two guys behind Everything Everywhere All at Once. they're not like establishment filmmakers in the way that pretty much everyone else in this category is.
Didn't they start doing like music videos?
They
for,
did
like...
Turn Down for What?
Yeah.
It was a great music video. I imagine, I can see it going to them. I can see it
Yeah.
kind of gravitating towards them.
I do agree, and I think that if you look at the list of nominees, they will probably appreciate it the most as well, because they would probably be so flabbergasted at the fact they're actually winning an Oscar for this film that they made when they didn't expect any Oscar nomination. But then you got Mr. Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And also, if Steven Spielberg wins, he will burst into tears because it's a very personal story.
And we love to
it's
see that.
basically a biopic of him, so there will be tears.
Yeah.
And I can't see the Daniels crying, to be honest.
No.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I could see them all crying.
Todd
Especially
Fields.
Martin McDonagh. He will burst into tears.
Yeah, he's a humble man, is Martin
He is.
McDonagh, isn't he?
That wouldn't be a sin now, would it, Father?
No, but it's not very nice either, is it?
What about Best Actor, which I think is perhaps less, I mean, more of a sure bet now the BAFTAs has been, but what's your view on that, Annabel?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, obvious front runner here, Austin Butler for
Yeah.
Elvis. And I think, yeah, he's great in it, I think, but I just think it's a bit boring, you know? We were talking about this earlier, giving it to someone playing a real life person. It just feels a little less interesting.
I think the thing is, it's like, okay, if it's a real life person who's like a story that you're not really sure of, but when Rami Malek has won it for playing Freddie Mercury quite recently, and then, I mean, poor Taron Egerton, he's probably like, what happened to me as Elton John? but I do think it's like, are we really doing this again now? Paul Mescal nominated. Yeah, we didn't really talk about Paul and Bill Nighy sneaking in Best Actor noms, which is quite nice. I think everyone assumed there was going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
And then they both came in, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Especially Paul Mescal, because they just typically do not nominate young actors, like ever. I think it's highly unusual.
Wish we could have stayed for longer.
Me too.
It should be Colin Farrell, like surely.
Great.
I mean, it's not only a great story in that he's been around for 25 years without that type of acclaim, but I just don't think it's going to happen because of Austin Butler,
Yeah.
which is fine because he's good.
But-
It's the most boring win imaginable.
And also,
I think.
Colin Farrell has had this like string of acclaimed performances. You've got After Yang, 13 Lives. Like it feels like it's kind of building up to this. So to see him be rewarded would be so. And he would cry. I would
He
love
would.
to see his speech. I mean, maybe not a cry, but it would be a very
I think
sweet
people who
speech.
in the UK and obviously in Ireland who wake up in the morning, if they saw the headline that Colin Farrell won the Oscar, it would be a big celebration. Whereas everyone else, it would be a bit like, okay.
2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey that day.
Well, it wasn't me little donkey it was me pony which shows how much you were listening.
Best Actress, where are we thinking? Tarman, what are you thinking?
Tarman. Well, this is like the most kind of controversial category of the year. There's been a lot of sort of consternation about Andrea Riseborough, who was a very surprise nominee for a film that literally no one has seen.
Everyone was kind of assuming that they knew who was going to be nominated, and they assumed that Danielle Deadwyler and Viola Davis for Till and The Woman King were dead certs when they weren't. So then Andrew Riseborough's nomination bumped them off, essentially. And one other, which I would say is Anna de Armas for Blonde, but let's not go there. As it stands, Andrew doesn't stand a chance of winning.
Not remotely.
No.
You could probably bet £1 million on her not winning.
Yeah,
And you would.
and it probably going to
win that.
Kate Blanchett.
I don't know. I think it'll probably be Michelle Yeoh because I think Michelle.
Wait, you
Yeoh-
actually think that?
I think because Michelle Yeoh has a story in a
Yeah.
way that Kate Blanchett just doesn't.
It would be more exciting than to see Kate Blanchett win, what was it, her third?
Her third Oscar,
Yeah.
and she doesn't want it.
Yeah.
That's why it's like all the award, like this awards race, she's been very clear about how she's not really into the awards thing. I mean, she says that she's accepting her award at the ceremony, but how she feels it is a collective and about how it's all a bit of a to-do. Whereas Michelle Yeoh would appreciate it more.
Love
wouldn't
it,
she?
yeah. I think it would mean a lot.
I think Kate Blanchett's probably the surest bet of the night,
Same.
personally.
Yeah.
But I feel like so much of the Oscars is about the narrative that you
Yeah.
come with. And I
Yeah.
think that someone like Kate Blanchett just doesn't have any narrative beyond everyone just liking her a lot.
Being a great actress.
Just being
Yeah.
a really,
Yeah.
really good actress.
Whereas
yeah.
Michelle Yeoh has like had 30 years of not this,
Not being
so
recognised.
it's kind of
yeah.
it's not only for the performance in this film, but it's also a big career peak for her.
Wow, that was really good.
What do you think about the other Michelle Williams, Fabelmans?
Well, this is another like weirdly controversial one because this is a sort of performance that easily could have swept a supporting category, but it was her choice to place herself in Best Actress. But she has no chance of winning.
No chance of winning.
She's been nominated like 20 times now or something ridiculous.
She's turning into Amy Adams, isn't she?
Yeah, but weirdly she doesn't have a kind of narrative of kind of it's time to get her an Oscar, which is strange. I don't
Whereas
know if
Amy
that's
Adams
because
does, yeah.
she does, and I don't know if it's because Michelle Williams is quite a kind of ambiguous presence in general.
Yeah.
There isn't that kind of mad passion behind her in the way that someone like Amy Adams, people just adore.
We are a secret movie, just yours and mine.
Speaking about the snubs, what did you think about? Did
Yeah,
you think Danielle was?
I thought Danielle Deadwyler until I thought that film was good actually, and I thought she was astonishing in it, and I think it would have been just a worthy nomination in the sense that it probably would have done wonders for her career beyond Till as well. I'm all for nominations like that. I feel like maybe we should stop giving Oscar nominations to people who have had a ton already or have won before because they don't need it. I think at this point it gives people a boost. So I was really sad to see Danielle Deadwyler not on the list.
This was my boy, Emmett Till.
I do think Ana de Armas is really good in Blonde, even though everyone despised Blonde.
I did despise Blonde. I'm putting it out there.
As someone who likes films people despise, I actually despised it. And I was surprised by that. But no, I feel like Ana de Armas should be kind of like shouldering some of the responsibility that Andrew Riseborough's taken a little bit.
Ana de Armas has ducked under the covers, has just been a very pleasant, quiet presence compared to Andrew Riseborough.
Yeah, who people are assuming she stole 2 spots. I mean, it's quite
pelted with fruits and meats.
Yeah.
Andrew Riseborough.
I guess I was discovered.
I mean, Best Director category, there are always big snubs, I think, in that category. Anyone standing out to you this year?
Well, typically this is like a conversation that we seem to have every year, apart from kind of last year. But a lot of female filmmakers that were just not there.
Yeah.
The 2 really obvious ones are Sarah Polley for Women Talking and Gina Prince Blythewood for The Woman King. Sarah Polley for Women Talking seems like the most egregious.
Yeah, that
just
was
because
the one everyone thought was.
Yeah, and people love Sarah Polley. She's had a very kind of long career, both as an actress and a filmmaker.
We know that we've not imagined these attacks. We know that we are bruised and terrified.
I think that's all we got time for, but thank you very much for the Oscar chat.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for watching Binge or Bin. We hope you enjoyed our Oscar special and managed to catch a few of our top picks on the big screen while you still can.